Hello and welcome back to Danish Lessons with the Missing N. In this video we are looking at how to do adjectives in Danish. Now let me remind you that adjectives are those words that you use to describe other words. So good examples would be big and small, because big and small aren't things in themselves, but they are words that you use to describe other things. So let me just remind you that when I say things I mean nouns, and in Danish we have two types of nouns. I meant to do that the other way round. I have decided to call them N and T nouns. I didn't give them a word before, but you've seen them already. So good examples would be en bro, which means a bridge, and et hus, which means a house. I've left a bit of space here because we are going to look at how to say a large bridge and a large house, or big if you want. And the word for that is stor. Now, in the case of N nouns, what you do is you simply leave the adjective as is. En stor bro, a large bridge. In the case of the T-type nouns, what you do is simply add a T at the end of the adjective. So stor becomes stort. Et stort hus. So, those are those two cases. Now, the plural form, I'm happy to say the two merge into one, and the way you change the adjective is the same either way. What you do is you add an E at the end, so it becomes storebror in this case, and it will be storhuse. Now let me remind you, here you see the two examples of how you create plurals in Danish. We've seen those before. Either add an E or add an ER. And the add an E rule is repeated here in the adjective. In order to turn the adjective into the plural, you simply add an E. And that's regardless of how the actual plural looks. So that is how you form adjectives. Let me give you a couple more examples, just so you've seen some more examples and you can kind of follow the pattern. I won't write all the nouns again, but I will simply give you, for example, the adjective good. So good in Danish is god. In this, for T-type nouns, that would become godt, G-O-D-T, and here we add an E, so that becomes god. The soft D here becomes rather silent and becomes god, godt, god. Now let's do one more, and no, let's do plenty more actually, but I'm not going to write all of them. I'm going to write this one and skip some of the others. Varm, varmt, and varme. I'm sure you can guess what this means. This is warm, or hot, if you will. And again, it follows the pattern of adding a T here and adding an E in the plural form. Another good adjective to know is kold. Here, K-O-L-D, I'm not really writing this very well. Silent D here at the end, and that will become koldt over here and kolle down here. I'm not going to write it this time. I want to do two that aren't quite as regular. Blå means blue. If you put it over here, it's still, as we'd expect, blåt. So blue when you're describing a T-type noun. But down here, Danish people decided that it would be overkill to have two vowels in a row. So instead of having O and then an E, it's simply still blå in the plural. Let's have another one, which is lille, another good one to know, which means small or little. Did I say that this means blue? If I didn't, that means blue. This is little, and this stays the same throughout. It doesn't even change for the T-type nouns. This may be because it ends in an E. I was trying to figure out if this is a general rule that you can apply in Danish, and then I realised that I couldn't for the life of me think of any other adjectives ending in E. In general, adjectives in Danish will end in consonants, as you see over here, and again in general they will follow these rules where you add a T when it's a T-type noun and you add an E when it's in the plural. That is how you do adjectives in Danish, or at least that is the very basics of it. I hope you learned something. Thank you for watching. Ha' det godt.